Hi, I'm Karan Thapar. Over the last few years, I hope you've been watching my program, The Interview on the Wire. During that period, I've interviewed doctors, politicians, businessmen, scientists, authors, and even the occasional Nobel laureate. For me, it's been exciting. I hope it's been enjoyable for you. But these, as you know, are tough times, and if this program is going to remain bold, independent, and sometimes even defiant, then I think we need your support. At the end of the day, it's a truism, but editorial independence is best defended by the viewers. So if you would like this program to remain the way it is, forthright, outspoken, and interesting, then would you consider supporting us? All you have to do is to click on the description at the bottom. But more than anything else, I hope you will continue to watch the interview. Your viewership means an awful lot to me. Hello and welcome to a special interview for The Wire. After the interview I did last Tuesday with the BJP Kuki MLA from Manipur, Pawenlal Hakip, many members of the Meitei community got in touch saying they wanted to respond to what he had said and perhaps even rebut some of the allegations he had made. I readily agreed because that, of course, is the essence of democracy and free speech. So joining me now is a Meitei independent MLA from Manipur. He supports the BJP government, Nishikant Sapam. Mr. Sapam is also the chairman of the Committee for Privileges and Ethics of the Manipur Assembly. Mr. Sapam, let's start with the most recent development. All 10 Kuki MLAs, 7 of whom are members of the BJP, 2 of whom are even members of the Biren Singh government, and all 10 of whom support the NDA, have demanded either a separate state or a separate union territory because, as they say, and I'm quoting them, the Manipur government has miserably failed to protect us, and they add, to live amidst the Meiteis again is as good as death for our people. As a Meitei MLA, how do you respond to this?
Well, I saw your interview with Mr. Hakip, and first, as a sworn MLA, we have taken oath under the Constitution to safeguard the integrity of Manipur and India. So I think that there has to be some kind of pressure. Otherwise, in all the good sense prevailing, what they signed and what they asked for is just goes against the oath taken.
When you say there must be pressure from whom?
Well, there are pressure groups everywhere. I mean, the whole thing. You see armed militant in AK-47s walking around. They're not normal people. They're not, innocent
So you're
people.
saying these 10 Kuki MLAs are under pressure of armed militant Kuki groups?
No. See, when you have taken an oath, you can't make a signature like that. That's what I meant. Either they are too naive, which I think shouldn't be the case. I have taken an oath under the Constitution to safeguard the integrity of Manipur. At the offset, I think we need to actually visit Manipur's history.
I accept the point you're making that MLAs who've taken an oath to safeguard and protect the integrity of Manipur ought not to be demanding a separate state or union territory. But, let me quote from their statement. Our people can no longer exist under Manipur as the hatred against our tribal communities reached such a height that MLAs, ministers, pastors, police and civil officers, laymen, women, and even children were not spared. It's fear of life. It's fear of death that is forcing them to demand a separate state.
Okay, Mr. Thapar, let's watch the movie from the beginning. Let's not start from the second half. Okay, let's go back and revisit the real Manipur, how it comes into existence. Okay, in 1891, we became a princely state after the Anglo-Manipuri War. In 1947, I think a little before India got its independence, Manipur became an independent nation. Okay, we merged with India. The merger agreement with the Indian Union and the King of Manipur was signed. Now, please note, the King of Manipur owned Manipur. He signed. Well, when I say that, all those who were living with us, like for example, our Tangkhul brothers and also Kuki brothers and Kabui and all the tribes, were under the king. So, and let me point out that when we signed, And when we became a part of India, this is the same map. It wasn't gifted to us.
But you're leaving one important bit of history out.
No,
the British created the inner line permit separating the valley from the hills. That distinction was made by the British well before independence.
Mr. Thapar, let me finish. Okay, let's go to the
But
Genesis.
I'm just inserting that bit of history which is important.
Yeah. That also, we'll also come to that also. But when we joined India, you have to understand there was something called Kabo Valley, which is in Burma, which was apparently given away by late Jawaharlal Nehru. These are facts which you can't deny.
But what is the point you're making?
No, what I'm trying to point out is that, you see, the whole thing is on the ST thing coming down to that. Okay?
No, we'll come to the ST thing in a moment's time. Let me pursue what happened most recently. I'll come to the ST thing. No. I just think it's important we should first pursue the demand that's been made for a separate state. Because yesterday in the Supreme Court, the Manipur Tribal Forum filed a petition in front of the Chief Justice asking for immediate deployment of the army. They claim that 124 villages have been razed to the ground. They claim that 85 more are likely to be attacked imminently. This is all, in their eyes, proof that they are in danger, their lives are a threat, which is why they want a separate state.
Just 2 days back, 50 houses were torched in the Surachandpur area in Torbung. Okay, this can go to and fro. So the thing is that I can tell you so many things, they can tell you so many things. I'm just saying, first, let's go to Genesis of Manipur. So we joined thing, and that time, all of us, including the Meiteis or the Kukis or the Tangkhuls, could buy land anywhere. A lot of us chose to stay in the valley, that's another thing. But the entire land belonged to all of us together, right? So now you have to understand the place called Churachandpur itself is named after our king, Churachand Maharaj. So how can you say that? See, the whole contention starts with many things where you talk about separation. This is our land, all of us. When I say our, I mean all of us. You can't demand one piece away. And you can't demand that. You shouldn't even demand that. I'll tell you why.
Hang on a second.
There was something. Mr. Thapar, there was something called 18 June. I think.
Let me see if I'm understanding the point you're making. Because otherwise, if I don't understand it, the audience will be confused as well. Yeah. If I understand what you're saying correctly, at the time of merger, the Meiteis, the Kukis, the Tangkhul Nagas could all buy land anywhere in Manipur, and the valley Meiteis could buy land in the hills. That's the point you're making. Anywhere.
Yeah.
And therefore, it was only after
1951
the tribals were recognized as an ST
let me come to that.
Community.
Yeah, I'll come step by step. Let's go first half, first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, then we can go to second half. So in 1951, there was a consensus where the then government, I think the late Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister, they removed the ST tag. We never knew, we were never asked. We were Union Territory. Then in 1960, the MLR, Manipur Land Revenue and Land...
When you say the Jawaharlal Nehru government removed the ST tag,
yeah,
are you claiming that Meiteis was scheduled tribes before merger with India?
Yeah, absolutely.
But who recognized them as STs? Because the ST tag didn't exist in British Indian days.
We were the same kind of people.
But the ST tag didn't exist before independence. It came into being with the Constitution.
Okay, so we were untagged from
So you agree?
We were, I don't know, I would say that a lot of us say that we were all the same kind of people. We were untagged from the ST.
I've heard this claim made that the Meiteis were scheduled tribes prior to joining India, but it's heavily disputed.
Even if we were not, we were the same type of people. It's just that we became Hindus, they became Christians. I'm telling you, see, I'll tell you one thing. Let me tell you. Like for example, the Tangkhuls and the Meiteis are so close that whenever we have a Meitei Laharawa, it has to end with a Tangkhul dance.
No, Mr. Sapam, there is a critical difference which we need to point out to the audience. First, you've accepted that prior to the Indian Constitution, there were no scheduled tribe status communities. You were the same tribe, but there was no scheduled tribe status.
Okay, let's agree to that.
The Constitution conferred scheduled tribe status to the Kukis and the Tangkhul
Nagas. Did they ask us?
Well, hang on a second.
Did they ask us?
But you accepted it because you merged.
Do you know, nobody asked. I'm a stakeholder. Like for example, I order some good from somebody and the supplier ties up with the transporter as to how much they have to charge me without telling me.
So the Meiteis have been objecting to not being granted special tribe status from the day the Constitution came into being.
At that time, we didn't realize what was going to hit us. Then came the MLR and LR Act 1960. Okay, that hit us even worse, but we didn't realize because you see, like I said, at the time of independence, India was only 34 crore. Today, we are 140 crores crossing China. At that time, in 1951, in Manipur was just 5.7 lakh. Only 5.7 lakh. Today, we are surplus 35 lakh. The percentage of the Kuki tribe was only 1% in 1901. and the Meiteis was 4%. We are like 50% today. And then the Nagas came down from almost 20% to they're like 15%. How can the Kukis grow from 1% to 29%? See,
You're now confusing different issues.
No, once again. This cannot be taken in isolation.
Mr. Sapam, you have to let me clarify for the audience, because otherwise the detail you're giving, which is slightly out of kilt and sinker, will confuse people. Let me clarify.
You cannot take anything out of context. It has a continuous, it has relativity.
Can we clarify for the audience what you're saying? Because otherwise they
It
get
has to be
confused.
related.
You have accepted two things. First of all, you've accepted that at the time of independence, there was no scheduled tribe status, but you say everyone was the same.
Yeah.
You say that when scheduled tribe status was given, it was given only to the Kukis and the Nagas, not to the Meitei. And the
I would say that the Meiteis were untagged of it.
Well, that's your claim, but there was no tag to
No,
untag.
that's exactly what it is.
There was no tag to untag. So let's not get confused with terminology.
We were removed. They were given status, we were not given.
It couldn't have been removed because the status didn't exist to remove, but it wasn't granted.
Okay.
You accepted it because you didn't realize the consequences.
It's clear word.
As the consequences became apparent, you became opposed to it and you were demanding the same status as the Kukis and the Nagas. Absolutely. Have I summed that up correctly?
No, but you missed out. For what reasons you haven't asked? Reasons, that's what I'm saying. You are jumping and leaving a lot of things behind. So
you have to make it simple for audiences. You can't tell the whole of Meitei history in 10 minutes. Make it simple, sir.
No. You are jumping the gun. You see, the thing is that, you see why this objection has come about. You see, today, Meiteis plus the Muslim population, plus all the non-Manipuris from India, plus all our tribal brothers, they are most welcome. We all stay in 9% land. You see, had the hill area been 10% or 9% and valley been 90%, the situation wouldn't have been so bad. So now you realize that 65% of the population is restricted to 9% of the land.
That I'm aware of.
No, but you can't jump the gun because this has to be told. No, please. You can't jump the gun. That's why I'm saying, please don't jump the gun. So now there is a sense, because tomorrow, when after 50 years, the way we grew, the way India has grown, 35 plus lakh will become almost 2 crore. Where do we go? So for me, ST demand, for me, like I'm a businessman, okay? I'm not looking for government jobs for my kids, but land tomorrow, there will be a bloodbath after 40 years. So we have to avoid that.
There seems to be a bloodbath happening as far as the Kukis are concerned now. So let's not talk about 40 years. They claim it's happening now.
I'll tell you one. If you're going to go into this and that, you're going to add more fuel to fire.
I'm not adding more fuel to fire.
You have to understand. You have to understand. When there were Meitei refugees, there were 9,600 Meitei refugees in the Kuki-dominated areas, and there were 10,000 refugees in Imphal. So it was more or less the same.
Mr. Sapam, can we take this step by step? Otherwise, the audience won't know.
Exactly.
Let me ask the question.
Exactly.
Answer the question. Let's go step by step.
No, but don't jump the gun.
I'm not jumping the gun, but you have to let me ask the question.
Most welcome.
Thank you.
But I will not let you jump the gun.
Sit back, sir, and relax.
Yeah, but you can't jump the gun.
Breathe softly, gently. You're not under pressure.
No, I am not under pressure.
I'm simply
But I don't like people jumping the gun, because the story must be told in the good sequence, in the right sequence.
Absolutely, but we have to tell it in a way in which audiences can follow.
Absolutely. Therefore, let us have the sequence.
What you've explained to me is that the Meiteis believe they should have got the same status as the Kukis and the Nagas. They were the same people at independence. The distinction that was made to recognize Kukis and Nagas as tribals but not the Meiteis was unfair. It was unfair in particular because the Meiteis represented, as you said, 60% of the population but were restricted to 10% of the land. The remainder had 90% of the land. That I understand. The problem is this.
Even the viewers have to understand.
Are you therefore now saying...
So that's why I'm saying we can't jump the gun, because the viewers also have to understand this.
Absolutely. But I'm trying to simplify it for the audience, because if you give a massive detail, they'll get confused.
No, nobody gets confused.
They do.
See, I'll tell you one thing.
Can we continue rather than quarrel?
No, I'm not quarreling.
Then let me continue.
It's all in context, because I want to avoid another June 18 happening. June 18 in 2001 happened. You know why? Because there was a threat to the territory of Manipur. And a lot of people were gunned down. And that was worse than this, because for like 1 month or 2 months, Manipur was under siege. And you had layers, this thick layers of glasses all over.
Let's continue.
So I don't want that happening again.
You are now demanding, as a way of putting right an injustice done to you when you weren't given scheduled tribe status, that status be granted now. That means you want a constitutional amendment.
Well, yes, you can say that way. I am seeing it logically
that
when the population doubles or when the population explosion happens after 40, 50 years, you can imagine.
What response have you got from the central government? After all, the Chief Minister and 4 ministers met the Home Minister 2 days ago.
Yes,
what did he say?
They said that no portion of Manipur will be taken away. Manipur will remain intact. Integrity of Manipur will be intact.
That is about the demand for a separate state or separate union territory. What about your demand for scheduled tribe status?
So now you're coming to the point. See, I'll tell you one thing. For me, I said personally, okay, for me it's a land. Because I can see things happening in such a way that Manipur, I'm telling you one thing, please.
I'm asking, what was the response from the Home Minister to that demand for scheduled
I
tribe
haven't met the Home Minister.
Biren Singh met the Home Minister. 4 ministers met them.
Please.
You support
the
the government.
of Manipur represents Manipur. I am speaking from one point of view because the complaint is I'm here and a lot of Meitei community people say that it's only one side of the narrative going, especially in your talk show, in your interviews. So I am trying to say that every son of the soil cutting across community lines need to have level playing field. Is that asking for injustice? Every son of the soil in Manipur cutting across community line must have level playing field.
Let me put to you the answer Mr. Haukip gave me last Tuesday when we spoke about the land imbalance. Imbalance.
Absolutely.
He said, let me finish the question, then you answer. He said to me that he accepts and recognizes that there is a land imbalance. He says the way of correcting it is not to grant scheduled tribe status to the Meitei, because that would overlook the disparity in terms of things like income, in terms of things like social advancement, in terms of things like education between the Meitei and the tribals. Instead, he said, just as the Meitei cannot buy land in the hill areas, stop the tribals from buying land in the valley. How do you respond to that as a solution to this imbalance?
I'll tell you one thing. Now let me speak, please. I'll tell you one thing. See, it's more to do with the land, which he agrees to, right? Now, when it comes to work, jobs, a Meitei can never dream of going to the top in the bureaucracy, whether it is IPS or IAS, right?
Why is that?
The quota system. You have to understand, we don't get it. I'll tell you one thing. The school education level is not as good as that in Delhi. So most of the Meiteis who are studying have to compete with brilliant people like Karan Thapar, which is difficult, because we can't get IAS. It's very difficult. So all the IAS and even in the state services are hogged by the people with ST quotas. And not every Manipuri
But the SC/ST quota is a fixed percentage.
Okay, there are many at admission and things like that. You will notice that I'm telling you, the quotas are had by them, and we are the masses, but the quotas are had by them. Very few Meiteis get into IAS, and
Meiteis qualify for the OBC quota, which is 27%.
Well, OBC,
they may not qualify for the SC/ST quota, but they qualify clearly for the OBC quota.
I am simply asking for a level playing field. Now, what I object to, for example, let's say a person becomes an IPS officer or an IS officer. He's elite because his kids are going to the best schools. Probably some of them studied in your Doon school also, and probably going to the best Manipuri schools or wherever. Why should he get another one? Why should the family go on?
So if I understand what you're saying correctly, the problem may start with what was called the land imbalance, but it's actually much deeper. You feel that the existence of special ST quotas has meant that the Kukis and the Nagas have got career advances in terms of government jobs, which the Meiteis are denied.
Yeah, that is
But they could say that the OBC quotas for which the Meiteis benefit is a much bigger quota than the ST quota.
Sorry.
They can say that because it's a fact.
You will see that. You will see that in Manipur ground reality. Aap aake dekhiye how many Meiteis are in the top brass and how many non-Meiteis are in the top brass.
Are you saying the non-Meiteis in the top brass are Kukis, or are you saying the people from outside the state?
No. Kukis are top brass. I mean, compared to...
But then that...
Compared to the number of Manipuris, the Kukis...
But the Kukis can only benefit from the ST quota, and the ST quota is only 7%.
See, you just come and see the ground reality. They all hog the...
It seems to me that the real problem, because you mentioned it once,
is that for me the problem
quality of education in Manipur is the problem. That's what you suggested earlier.
See,
that seems to be the case.
Manipur is going to go general quota. So when you go general quota, studying in Manipur, you have to compete with somebody who's from
Manipur has an OBC quota as well, which applies to the Meiteis.
Let's say OBC quotas apply to everybody, but ST always takes a chunk of it.
But how can the ST quota is separate to the OBC quota?
I said the job is another thing. The main thing is land. I said the main thing is land. Land is where the whole fire will start. It's all about land.
So then come back to Mr. Haukip's suggestion.
What?
Stop the...
I'm willing to talk. That's why I said we should sit across the table and talk it out.
But therefore there is room to talk and negotiate over the Haukip suggestion.
Why not? Let's talk it out. We should. I thought say this among a lot of MLAs who are from the hills. I said we need to talk it out.
You're saying something very important. When Mr. Haukip made this suggestion last Tuesday,
I made this suggestion long time back.
The same suggestion. That
we should talk it out.
Bar the tribals from buying land in the valley, just as the valley people are barred from buying
that is like breaking up Manipur. Anybody should be allowed to buy.
But that was the Haukip suggestion.
No, well, sorry. If that is a suggestion, I am against it. Anybody should be allowed to buy land anywhere. Okay? We have never stopped our tribal brothers from coming in, building houses in Manipur. Never. Except that maybe for 1 year the chief minister was holding somewhere, not even letting me buy land or anybody buy land.
So you're saying that the best solution is to let everyone buy land everywhere.
I said,
not necessarily.
Every citizen of Manipur and all of us should have the same level playing field, number one. Number two, we should have the right to enjoy the resources of the state. We should share it.
And as long as there's a level playing field in terms of buying land everywhere and everyone permitted to buy land everywhere, you're not going to insist upon scheduled tribe status as well. That is, that's not critical. What's critical is the right to buy land.
Scheduled tribe, if you get scheduled tribe, it solves all the problems.
But if you get the permission to buy land everywhere without scheduled tribe, are you happy to not have scheduled tribe?
You are going to a lot of details which should be had. These talks should be had at the level of the chief minister.
But are you open to the idea?
Why not?
Okay.
We are open to anything.
I'll tell you
anything in all fairness. Okay. Number one, please, you're missing out one big thing. How can the Kuki population rise up from 1% to 29%?
What are you suggesting? Spit it out.
No.
Spit it out because you're clearly hinting at something.
No, I am going to spit it out. I am going to spit it out. And I've come here to spit it out.
Go up. Spit it out.
1951 was the deadline. Okay? Anybody before that in Manipur is an Indian citizen and so a Manipuri. Then that deadline has been stretched to 1961. 1st January 1961. So anyone who came to India before 1961 in Manipur are Manipuris, whether you may be a Kuki or a Meitei or a Tangkhul or whoever. Anybody.
What's your explanation for the increase in the Kuki population?
Exactly.
What is it? Tell me. Spit it out.
I am going to. If I start speaking fast, you'll say you calm down. So let me have my pace. Okay. So I am saying that all these people living on the border in Myanmar and Bangladesh, they are all same tribe, same language. It could be relatives also. So it's a influx because Burma is a very disturbed area.
Are you saying that the Kuki population has grown sizably
leaps and bounds
because people from Burma have crossed over and claimed to be Indian citizens?
Absolutely.
And are you saying the Kuki are sheltering them and hiding them?
Listen, I don't know what they are doing, but definitely the number has gone up. So it is your assumption.
So you're saying
I haven't.
They strongly, strenuously refute this.
Let's have an NRC.
Can I put the Haukip argument to you?
Why not?
Mr. Haukip said that at the very most there will be 100 or 150 people.
No.
Let me finish.
No.
Let me finish.
It's shocking. I almost fell off my seat.
Well, you couldn't have. You wouldn't have. I assure you, you're very well placed on that seat. There's no danger.
No, I have great balance. I'm a basketball player.
Let me finish my question. Mr. Haukip said strenuously and vigorously that at the most there would be 100 to 150 people who are seeking shelter from the junta in Myanmar and not illegal immigrants. They are refugees.
Not at all. Not at all. How can the Kuki population, which was only 1% in Manipur in 1902, rise up to 29% in 2020?
The official statistics says it's 14%. Where do you get 22 from?
Sir,
the last census was 2011.
Okay, then how does it go up to 14% also? Let's take 14%.
Natural increase between 51 and now?
No. 1 second. How does Manipuri population go down? How does the Naga population go down? How does the Kuki population shoot up?
I'm not sure the Naga population has gone down.
It's gone down.
Nagas are 26% of the population of Manipur and Meiteis are 53%.
No.
Yes, that's what the census says.
Sir, but you see a phenomenal rise in the Kuki population. Phenomenal rise.
I'm not sure it's phenomenal.
It is phenomenal. It's more than the others. You see, the fact is, I am coming from Manipur.
So that is your grouse. You believe that the Kukis have been permitting people
from... in Delhi. It's the infiltration happening at a large this thing.
So you are accusing the Kukis of permitting foreigners and illegal immigrants to occupy the country.
Sir, please listen to me, sir. You know Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the founder of Pakistan? His daughter's children are all Indians, even if they are relatives.
He was Indian too before Pakistan.
Once, but he became the creator of Pakistan. He's a Pakistani, but he's the maternal uncle of the Bombay dyeing owners, right? So likewise, there are same tribes.
He's the grandfather.
Maternal grandfather. He's the maternal grandfather. So what I'm trying to say is that those in that area, on this side and this side are the same tribe. They could be relatives. But if you're going to come into India after 1961, you are a foreigner. You are not an Indian. Leave I mean,
where do you have the proof that these are illegal immigrants? Where
let's
does
have
that come
NRC.
from? There is no NRC in Manipur.
We need to do it.
But where do you get the claim to make this proof?
You see that.
On what basis are you saying
I
it?
think, we are going round and
But
round
no,
and
I'm
round.
just asking you for proof.
Look at the rise in population.
But you got the population statistics wrong. You claimed it's 22%, it's not, it's 14.
Chalo, it was even if it's 14, where does it come from? I mean, if it was 1%, why the
I don't know what the population
why the Meitei population is decreasing?
Well, I'm not sure it's decreasing either. You keep saying it.
It is.
Do we know what the population
Population is not decreasing, the ratio is decreasing. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Population is on the rise, but I'm talking about ratio in terms of population.
Now, hang on a second. The ratio of the population nationwide between Hindus and Muslims has also changed.
No.
Hindus have come down to
now you're going on a different
79%,
tangent.
Muslims have gone pretty close to 15%. Are you saying that there's illegal immigration happening from Pakistan? Because the same logic would apply there. What I'm saying is your logic.
Bangladesh also. You see many Bangladeshis in Delhi on the roads begging. That's Bangladeshi. Listen to the accent.
How do you know they're Bangladeshis?
The accent.
Oh, the accent.
Yeah.
How do you know they're not Bengalis?
The Bengali Muslims and the Bengalis have the same accent.
So you're an expert in how people speak the language.
I'm from Northeast.
That doesn't mean you're an expert in how people speak the language.
Yeah, I can literally tell a person how the way he speaks Hindi, I can tell him the Bengali.
You reminded me of Professor Higgins, sir.
No problem.
My fair lady.
See, you went to Oxford, I went to Delhi University.
Okay.
So Delhi University.
Let's come to a point that you made, which I'd like to pursue. You said that we need to sit down and talk.
Yeah, we need to.
The problem is Mr. Haukip has made clear, and now all 10 Kuki MLAs have made clear that they don't have any faith and trust in Biren Singh. So as long as Biren Singh is Chief Minister, they're not going to come and talk to you.
Okay.
Are you prepared to replace Biren Singh?
Am I in that position?
Well, you support his government.
I support the BJP government. If
That's
BJP,
his government?
No, please. If BJP places anybody, I support that person. Right now, BJP has placed Mr. N. Biren Singh as Honorable Chief Minister. I support him.
But I'm asking you a slightly different question. If talks are the next critical step, and if Biren Singh continuing as Chief Minister is an obstacle to those talks, would you accept that there is a need to replace him?
I am not in a position to comment on that. That
Why?
is for the... No, please. I am supporting the BJP. That is for the senior leadership of the party to decide what is to be done. I will support the BJP, whoever the leadership is.
I'll tell you why people like Mr. Haukip and presumably the other 9 Kuki MLAs will not talk while Mr. Biren Singh is Chief Minister. Mr. Haukip said to me last week, sitting where you are, that Mr. Biren Singh is anti-Kuki, he's prejudiced.
You see, right now everything is too polarized. So I'm telling you, if they have signed, I am telling you they are under pressure. It's not possible. They have to go back to their village. You think they'll survive? See, let me put it this way. Whatever has happened, I am telling you they are all fellow Manipuris. Insaniyat has to prevail. Whatever has happened is absolutely condemnable to the core. I'm telling you one thing. I appeal for peace on both sides to relax, and to take to let peace happen. Today the curfew has been relaxed till 3 p.m. which is a great show of...
You said everything that's happened is condemnable to the core. Those were your words. Condemnable to the core.
All violences. I meant violences. Any violence is condemnable.
Mr. Haukip believes that an attempt was made at ethnic cleansing of Kukis.
How? What a shameful thing to say. What a shameful thing. I saw another joker who's lost his mind said, Hindu supremacy. Come on. Hindi movies cannot be played in auditorium, leave alone Hindu supremacy. Do you know how many Meiteis have become Christians? Then I say ethnic cleansing, Manipuris have become Christians. Come on.
Let me quote to you what Bhakta Charan Das, the Manipur in charge of the Congress party, said to the Hindu newspaper on the 30th.
Congress is one thing I don't believe in.
It doesn't matter whether you believe in Congress. I'm quoting what the man who's the Manipur in charge of the Congress party said to the Hindu newspaper on the 13th. He claims that Meitei outfits like Arambai Tengol, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, and Meitei Lipon have destroyed 200 churches, including 18 belonging to the Meitei community and 2 to the Nagas. Are those facts correct?
18 belonging to the?
Meitei community and 2 to the Nagas, 200 churches
altogether.
Why would
this Arambai and Meitei Lipun destroy Meitei temples?
Because they are doing it on a religious basis is the assumption. That they are deliberately adding a Hindu versus Christian flavor to this battle.
No. Yeah, first of all, it is not a Hindu versus Christian thing. Let me put it very straight. See, it's time to stop accusing others, because I will come out with many
But
things.
are those facts correct?
Some temples have been destroyed. Some
Temples, not churches.
and churches also have been destroyed. I'm not come here to lie. I never lie. I speak the truth. I'm not known for lying.
The Hindustan Times on the front page today says that something like 8,000 Kukis and other tribals are in relief camps, mainly in Mizoram, 6,400 in Mizoram, roughly 1,500 in the Kachar area of Assam. Is that correct?
Okay, that could be correct. Do you know how many Meiteis are in the refugee camps? 9,600. Do you know the place called Sugnu, where it was near all the foothills, all the Meitei villages have run away from there. You know why? Because they have guns. Who are these people? These people in the SU, suspension of operation. The Kukis are with guns. So all the foothills, I'm telling you, you have just heard one side, all the foothills.
I'm hearing your side.
Yeah, please do, because I'm here. So all the foothills where the Meiteis live, they've all run away, evacuated themselves, saving their lives. They run away. How? Well, because they have the guns.
You know,
Right
can I put something to you?
Tell me.
The audience listening to you today and the audience that would have listened to Mr. Haukip last Tuesday will say to themselves that the distrust between the Meiteis and the tribals is long-standing. It's deep-seated. It goes back to, as you said, 1951, when the tribals were given ST status and it wasn't given to the Meitei. From that moment onwards, this imbalance in land
you're misquoting. We were not given ST status. Doesn't mean we hold any grudge towards the Kukis. Sorry. We hold a grudge against the government of India then, who did not give us that, who excluded us from that. Not against the Kukis, sir. Please. The then Jawaharlal Nehru government.
It seems to flare up against the Kukis.
No.
How come, let me finish. How come, therefore, you can't accept that two people who for 70 years have had this distrust between them should now not sort it out by becoming separate states? Doesn't that make sense?
Again, you're skipping history. What about the Naga-Kuki feud that happened in the 1990s? So there was mistrust between the two of them because both of them are STs. How come? See, you're jumping the gun too much. You have to take everything in Manipur
It's very interesting that you bring up the Naga-Kuki feud of the 90s.
Absolutely.
People ask, how come at the moment there is no problem between the Meiteis and the Nagas? The Nagas have the same privilege of land that the Kukis do, but the violence is Meitei-Kuki. There's no Meitei-Naga violence.
No.
Why? How do you explain that?
See,
I'm curious.
Yeah, you have to understand. One thing you have to understand, I don't want to sound communal at all. That's not me. I'm not communal. I want justice to prevail. I want truth to come out.
Okay. Tell me the truth. Why is there no Naga-Meitei problem at the moment?
Don't cut me in between. I told you how close the Meiteis and Tangkhuls and Kabuis are. Very, very close. We are literally same stock of people. Okay. Kukis, we don't have similarity. But they have been in Manipur since a long time.
So you see Kukis as different and alien?
No. Listen, we have started living together. There are so many families who are married into Kuki families. There are many Meiteis who have Kuki wives and vice versa.
But what you said just now is very interesting. We are very, very close to the Nagas. The Kukis are very different.
We are same stock of people.
But the Kukis are different. You said that too.
They are a little different from us. But having said that, because we have lived so together, we have Kuki women married into Meitei homes and vice versa, and their children and grandchildren. Where do they go?
This brings me back again to the problem. Mr. Haukip said to me, his explanation
Mr. Haukip seems to be the end-all and be-all of everything.
No, I'm putting to you what he said so you can respond to it. How else would you respond if I don't put it to you? You are not going to remember it from a week ago. Mr. Haukip said that his explanation for the fact that the Kukis and the Nagas have no problem between them is because the Nagas are allies of the BJP in Nagaland. And it is for political reasons.
I saw that part. I saw that part.
So you
diverted the Nagaland. He said because there are ministers in the Naga ministers in the government. There are also two Kuki ministers in this government.
I know.
So both of whom it is you who brought Nagaland. I saw that.
Both of those Kuki ministers want.
Yes.
Both of those Kuki ministers want a separate state.
They want to save their life. They'll be killed in their own place. Come on. You see. It was you. I saw that interview. It was you who brought Nagaland. He was talking about there were ministers in this thing. There are ministers, Kuki ministers in this ministry.
But the truth is that in fact the Naga BJP relationship in Nagaland is very close because the
It's
government
a political one. It's not a.
That's precisely what Mr. Haukip is saying. For political reasons, the problem in Manipur is restricted to the Kukis, the Nagas, and not what. It's political, he said. You're quoting him.
They also joined us, na? You are saying the Kukis have a difference with the.
You really don't think a
No, if
separate
they have
state.
so much of difference, why would all the Kuki MLAs support BJP? You tell me that.
Tell me something.
It is just the flare-up that made them do this, say this. Otherwise, before the flare-up, even if there were differences, how come all the Kuki MLAs supported BJP? Please think.
So you're ruling out, in your own opinion,
Absolutely, their own acts.
No, you're ruling
You
out.
can't change like a season.
You're ruling
Why
out.
did they support the BJP government? Why did they even go into BJP? Why did they even take a BJP ticket? Think, sir. पिक्चर ना कभी सेकंड हाफ से शुरू नहीं होता.
नहीं, मैं सेकंड हाफ से नहीं शुरू कर रहा,
आप
मैं
कर रहे
बिल्कुल
थे.
शुरुआत तक जा रहा हूँ.
हाँ, बिल्कुल
Are you
शुरुआत
therefore suggesting that there is an ulterior motive behind those Kuki BJP joining the BJP?
No, there is an ulterior motive behind what is happening. This is what they've been demanding since many years. A separate this, a separate that is not a new thing. It has flared up.
I'm well aware of it, which is why I'm saying to you, the problems go back to 1950, which you said so yourself.
Sir.
Why not now grant union territory status just to the Kuki areas and let them be happy?
Manipur is a part of us. We will not allow that. Every Manipuri, any Manipuri, will not allow
exactly the same problem came up in the 50s and 60s when Punjab was opposed to Haryana being created and a separate Himachal Pradesh being created. But they were both created out of Punjab. And now all
that
three
is
live
why
quite
I had to
happily.
tell you the story.
The same logic
that is
would
why
apply to
I had to
Manipur.
tell you the story of Manipur. You see, Kabo Valley was also the Manipur place, which is apparently given away by Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, that valley goes beyond Churachandpur. Churachandpur itself is named after the King Churachand Maharaj. How can you take that part away from us just because you've restricted us because the MLA Act? Not possible.
No, hang on a second. Just because
I am saying we are all owners of this land, including the Meitei cookies. I'm not Manipuri cookies.
So then what's the solution?
Well, there has to be NRC. Those people have to be sent back. Those who have come after 1961, rest can enjoy. I mean, we are all one. I'm saying we are all one.
You're actually talking about identifying people who have been for 40, 50 years citizens of India, declaring them illegal and sending them to Burma.
Sir,
what makes you think Burma will accept this?
No, sir, please.
It's exactly what the NRC intended in Assam. Who makes you think that Bangladesh will accept them?
I am telling you, Hindustan is not a dharamsala. You try this in America, they'll boot you out. India is not a dharamsala, boss. यहाँ पर भी हमारे रूल्स हैं.
आप सच में अपने फेलो मणिपुरी सिटीजन को धर्मशाला समझ रहे हैं?
नहीं.
They are guests of the धर्मशाला.
Who said they are Manipuri citizens? Those who came after 1961 are not Manipuris. They are not Indian citizens. How can they be Manipuris?
You have no proof of this whatsoever.
So let's have an NRC.
Why?
And then if you want to...
Because of your suspicion.
No. Then if you want to have them stay in Manipur, then let's apply CAA.
Okay. I'm coming to the end of this interview. I think we've been going on for pretty close to 40 minutes. There is one thought that has occurred to me.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's occurred to the audience. I'm pretty sure this will be a result not just of the interview with you, but also last week with Mr. Haukip. The distrust.
But
let me finish, then you speak. The distrust. Sometimes it feels like animosity between the Meiteis and the Kukis is deep-seated. No. You consider them different. You consider them illegal citizens. You think that they are trespassing on land that shouldn't be theirs. Why not separate into different states and end the problem?
Not at all, sir. I, as an MLA of the government of Manipur, have taken an oath to safeguard the integrity of Manipur. We will never let that happen, number one. Number two, all Manipuris who are Indian citizens are owners of this land, and all Manipuris, son of the soil, all of us.
So then what's the solution?
Please, sir, please don't
what is the solution?
Sir, वैसे ही मैं बहुत slow बोलता हूँ.
नहीं, आप इतने slow नहीं बोलते. आप बड़े detail में बोलते हैं.
You are a seasoned anchor. I am a first timer. Come on, cut me some slack.
Solution बताइए, sir. We're coming to the end.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it all belongs to. We all need to have a level playing field. We all need to, and I want peace. And those perpetrators of the crime, whoever instigated, must be punished and brought to the books.
No, but you see, it's not just a level playing field in terms of land. That is what the situation looked like before you began to say that the Kukis have increased their numbers through illegal immigration. You said an NRC is necessary. You said they must all be sent back to Burma. Suddenly, it's not land alone. You now want people you consider illegal to be sent out of the country. That's another dimension you've added yourself.
They can go anywhere, but I am talking about Manipur.
You talked about Manipur too.
And then again.
So what I'm saying is,
do you agree that if they say, well, they can't stay with us, the Kuki differences with Manipur was so many years, why were they supporting BJP government? Do you agree? You take back your words on that?
I don't. They have a right to support whatever government they want.
Why?
Just as you do.
No, you said that they had differences with Meiteis and BJP and this and that. Why were the entire entire lot of Kuki MLAs supporting BJP and the government.
The clear thing that emerges is that a discussion that began centered around what I call the land imbalance has now become more emotional and in a sense more febrile, because you've begun to see the Kukis as illegal citizens.
Not at all.
You
Sorry.
Want an you want an NRC done and you want them sent back to Burma.
Sorry, sir. You are putting wrong words in my mouth.
I'm quoting you.
I said anybody who comes after 1961, be it a Naga, be it a Meitei, be it a Kuki, please mark my words. Anybody who comes...
You're saying it now.
No.
At that time, you talked about the Kuki population increasing.
First of all, you don't allow me to talk because I think you have better English than me.
You're changing your position.
Sir,
come on.
Sir,
please. Changing your position.
No, I'm not changing.
Yes, you are.
I said anybody who comes into India, into Manipur after 1961, Please, let me say, whether he is a Meitei, whether he is a Tangkhul, whether he is a Kuki, is a foreigner. Like the grandchildren of Muhammad Ali Jinnah are Indians, the maternal is a Pakistani. Likewise, jo bhi ho, even if it's a Meitei, even if it's a Tangkhul or a Kuki, anybody...
Very interesting that you deliberately twice brought Jinnah.
No.
Is this a dog whistle? The bringing in of Jinnah quite irrelevant to the discussion. Is it a deliberate dog whistle?
Why I'll tell you. Because it's the border that separates all of us. There could be Manipuri relatives of mine who's staying in Burma or in Bangladesh. There are a lot of Meitei community there. Huge Meitei community in Bangladesh. Likewise, the Kukis. Likewise, the Tangkhuls. So anybody who comes into Manipur after 1961 is a foreigner, irrespective of who he is.
Let's leave it there. We've discussed this. We've quarreled over it. We've differed. But you've had a chance to put your full say. All I will say is that I think sometimes when differences run so deep for so long between people, it may be better to separate. But you have a right to contest that.
The last point. Will you please put your place in the shoes of the Manipuris and see, once upon a time, this land was ours and we are restricted to just 9%.
But the Kukis are Manipuri too.
I am talking about Meiteis. The Meiteis are being singled out. We have been played along.
The Kukis think they are being singled out.
No, sir. There is no place. Do you know how expensive land in Manipur is?
But you made a very interesting mistake there. You identify Meiteis as Manipuris, not Kukis as Manipuris. They're all Manipuris.
Yes. You're playing with words.
You were.
I am saying all are Manipuris. Before 1961, whoever they're all Manipuris, whether they are Kukis, Tangkhus, Meiteis. And those who all come after 1961, whether Meitei, Tangkhul or Kukis, are all foreigners. Simple.
Okay, Mr. Sapam, let's leave it there. I hope this problem is sorted out. Because at the end of the day, whether you're Kuki, Naga or Meitei, you are Indian first.
Absolutely.
And in the interest of our country,
in
the interest of our integrity, the differences over land, the differences over religion, the differences over ethnicity, and the claim that some people are illegal and should be sent back, those are things that we should subsume and forget and put at the background. We need to remember India first. Otherwise, I assure you,
those who crossing over into India are not Indian. Sorry, you're wrong. I rebut you there. Anybody who crosses into our land illegally is not an Indian. Those who are here legally are Indians.
You have no proof that anyone has come illegally. And even the statistics you cited were wrong. So let's leave it there.
Even if you put it as 14%, 14% is a huge jump from what they were. So even if I take your data, but at the end of the day, I want peace to prevail. There should be trust. For those who are Manipuris, must live in peace and with a lot of harmony, and let there be development.
Let peace prevail. I agree with you about that. Thank you.
Let insaniyat prevail.
Thank you very much indeed.
And
You've reminded us of Mr. Vajpayee's wonderful words.
My favorite Prime Minister.
Insaniyat is something sometimes our governments forget about. Thank you for reminding us.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, I'm Karan Thapar. Over the last few years, I hope you've been watching my program, The Interview on the Wire. During that period, I've interviewed doctors, politicians, businessmen, scientists, authors, and even the occasional Nobel laureate. For me, it's been exciting. I hope it's been enjoyable for you. But these, as you know, are tough times, and if this program is going to remain bold, independent, and sometimes even defiant, then I think we need your support. At the end of the day, it's a truism, but editorial independence is best defended by the viewers. So if you would like this program to remain the way it is, forthright, outspoken, and interesting, then would you consider supporting us? All you have to do is to click on the description at the bottom. But more than anything else, I hope you will continue to watch the interview. Your viewership means an awful lot to me.